Stella Sora has the best story opening in any gacha game I've played, and it does it in the first 30 minutes. Aren't you tired of gacha games that take hours before the story gets good? Usually you have to sit through endless exposition dumps and fantasy jargons, and it just makes you want to press the skip button. But Stella Sora does the exact opposite. They throw you into the world and let you experience it directly, so you feel immersed right away. And the secret is so simple. They respect your intelligence. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how they do it and why most gacha game stories struggle so much to pull this off. A good opening is the most important part of a story, and it's also the hardest one to do well, because it has to introduce everything at once: the characters, world, mystery, plot, and the vibe. And most gacha games mess this up. They either give way too many expositions, giving you headaches, or too little exposition, leaving you confused. Stella Sora does this well because their writers have a secret 5-step formula to get this right. So let's start with Step 1. Introduce the characters fast. How fast? Stella Sora does it in under 2 minutes. The game immediately throws the trio into a big problem. They're lost and separated in a desert. And just by listening to their conversation, you already understand who they are based on how they react. Amber is the quiet one, casually taking selfies like this isn't even a problem. Iris is the big sister, who takes the situation very seriously. And Noya is just vibing. And that's enough. At this point, we don't need their backstory or motivations. We just need to see the differences between each character and how they're likely to act moving forward. The writers can build their characters later. Because right now, we need to move to Step 2, make the world mysterious naturally. Here is where most gacha games mess this up. They would stop the story and start throwing a lore Wikipedia in your face. But Stella Sora doesn't do that. They build your curiosity through small details. Why are there abandoned electronics in the desert? Is this a post-apocalyptic setting? And why is Amber using a flip phone? You start asking questions on your own. And then right as that curiosity builds, the game shows you the monolith. There is a sense of awe as you see it. It's so alien and majestic. This must be what it feels like to be an adventurer seeing it for the very first time. And yet, no exposition dump. Why would they? To us, it's mysterious. But to our characters, it's just a regular Tuesday. This is their job. Fight enemies on each floor, get buffs, and go to the top to get the reward. And that's it. We're only 10 minutes in, but that's all you need to know right now. The writers didn't need to give you a history lesson about the monolith or a jargon soup. But in the process, you will naturally start asking questions like, who built this monolith? Why does it exist? And why are people risking their lives to climb it? None of that is answered right now, and that's intentional. It might feel a bit unfamiliar at first, but that's exactly what makes it so engaging. Because those questions are what makes you want to keep playing, just to understand this world a little bit more. This is the best execution of show, don't tell. But mystery alone isn't enough. To make this world feel real, we need Step 3, create immersion. This is a thing that most gacha games don't understand. Lore dumps will not give you immersion. Being told things you don't care about will just make you want to press the skip button. To get real immersion, you need to subconsciously feel consistent rules in world building and believable reactions, not told. Most gacha games would just tell these rules to you, but Stella Sora does the opposite by showing us how our characters live in this world as professionals, while showing their different personalities. Here's one example. There is an unspoken rule in the monolith. Bigger rewards means bigger danger. So when they see a massive wishing box, Amber and Noya get cautious because the reward is so big, while Iris gets excited because the boss is so big. And when things do go wrong, they know when it's time to retreat, but they also know how to adapt. They really need the reward to buy food, but they still have to get out alive. All of this is enjoyable to watch because it feels natural. You're not being told about the world, you're watching people live in it. In just 17 minutes, you already understand how the world works, how these characters think, and how they survive in it, without needing a single lore dump. But this is where the introductions end and where that normal breaks. Step 4. Introduce the twist and mystery breadcrumbs. We need a twist to elevate the story beyond their regular boring lies. The wishing box opens to reveal our protagonist. And instantly, questions. Who is she? Why is she in the box? How long has she been there? But then it gets weirder. There is this fable about the first tracker who looks suspiciously like Noya. And Noya just casually says she's seen us before, twice, but she doesn't remember it. Again, none of this is answered right now. These are breadcrumbs. With these mysteries, the story is not just something we read to get through. It's now a puzzle box. You know these breadcrumbs will set up bigger stories later on. So now you can start forming theories, obsessing over details, and more importantly, you want to keep going just to see if you're right. You're now invested in the story. But a mystery alone isn't enough to carry a story. To keep things interesting, the writers need to, Step 5, keep expanding the world, rinse and repeat. The game introduced a new rule. Every time you open a wishing box, you lose a memory. To us, that sounds terrifying. But for our main trio, this is a normal risk. Because to them, losing random memories is still better than starving. They need those wishing boxes to survive. That's the same idea again. It's not about the rule itself, it's about how the characters in this world live in it. And now that you understand it, here comes the twist again. We enter another monolith, and suddenly, there are NPCs living inside. There are giant penguins everywhere, a convenience store, and even twin demons tempting you at every turn. The whole place now feels more like a shopping mall than a dungeon. So now we're back to asking questions. What is the monolith actually? What is it for? And why does it take memories? And when you combine that with the darker hints about the tyrant, it starts to feel like there is something deeper going on, isn't it? And that's how this game hooks you in. They're using the same loop over and over again. The game gives you rules, show you how people live with them, and then gives you something new to question. And because of that, the game never needs to stop the story for exposition dumps. You're not being told how the world works. You're figuring it out yourself. Because the writers respect your intelligence. Only after that can the game introduce a more traditional lore. Because on the surface, Stella Sora is a very cheerful game with its art style and music. But the deeper you go, the more you notice the darker side of this world. Maybe the biggest dangers in this world are not inside the monolith. It's the people outside of it. There are people who will squeeze every drop of value out of a person just as a cost of doing business. And then you meet someone like Otoha. On the surface, she looks elegant, a graceful fox lady. But the more you go through her personal story, the more you realize she represents that darker side perfectly. This isn't just about exploration anymore. There are real power struggles between factions, and sometimes those conflicts can get deadly. And I've only scratched the surface here. There's still a lot more to appreciate in this game, like the branching bad endings that are actually canon, the character side stories, and how Chapter 1 and 2 built one of the most interesting protagonists I've ever seen in a while. So if this style of storytelling clicked for you, where you get to figure things out yourself while still having the option to just relax and enjoy the characters when you want, then this is exactly the kind of game you should try. And with the new update, now is the best time to jump in. It's one of the biggest updates so far, with a lot of free pools, 2 max weapons, and extra rewards right from the start. Links in the description if you want to check it out, and you would help support this channel if you do. Oh, and don't forget to redeem the code in-game for even more rewards. So, what do you think? Have you tried Stella Sora? Did you enjoy the game world and the story? Let me know in the comment section down below. Like and subscribe for more story analysis videos, and with that, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.